This made me stop taking pictures forever. This isn't clickbait, by the way. Pro photographers don't take pictures. We make them. Do you make pictures?
This is exactly what separates hobbyists from professionals. But what does that shift actually look like? And why do some photographers never move past a certain level while others seem to create amazing images in any circumstance?
By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what stage you're in and how to progress. But before we get there, let me ask you this. What's the real difference between photographers who struggle to get work and those who seem to have endless opportunities? The answer isn't gear or experience, although that's super important. You do have to have a little bit of talent. Pro photographers, we've graduated through the 3 levels of photography. This video breaks down those 3 levels because you've probably never heard of this before. In case you don't know me, I'm Carty. For nearly 35 years, I've been a full-time professional photographer. I capture famous faces of celebrities that you know. I shoot for magazines, I shoot for advertising. But 10 years ago, my photography business really started to struggle. And despite my decades of experience, I didn't ever invest in the business side of photography and my consistency. I was inconsistent. Those 2 things were really holding me back. I finally stopped distracting myself, hired coaches, I studied successful photographers, and I started building systems that actually worked. Let's talk levels. Level 1, taking pictures. Baby waves, which is kind of no risk. But here's the problem. You're capturing, not creating.
Think about how you use your camera. Are you just picking it up, walking around, seeing something interesting and clicking the shutter? Are you out shooting with no real plan, just reacting to whatever's in front of you? Sometimes maybe that works. You might catch a lucky shot, but then there's those times that you don't. This is like sitting in shallow water, trying to catch tiny waves that carry you towards the shore, no risk, no real control, just floating along and hoping for the best, which is super fine in the beginning. You're learning your camera, you're figuring out composition, exposure, you're getting comfortable. But you start to realize that your images feel random. Some are all right, but others are completely forgettable. And worst of all, you have no idea why.
There is a turning point, and that is seeing versus observing. Imagine this. You're hanging out with a photographer whose work you admire. They're standing in the exact same spot as you with the same light, but their images are worlds apart from you. How is that possible? Well, the answer is simple. They're not just seeing, they're observing. Skilled photographers don't just capture what's there. We study the environment. They notice how the light falls, how lines lead the eye, how small adjustments in framing can completely transform a scene. Here's how you advance.
Start asking why. The next time you're out shooting, stop. Before you press the shutter, ask yourself, why am I making this picture? What's the strongest element in this scene? And how can I make that element stand out? Instead of reacting to a scene, start shaping it in your mind before you even lift the camera.
Level 2, you're executing ideas for yourself. Now you're going out beyond the first break. Now there's a little bit of risk. Now you have intention. Maybe not so much a clear vision, but you have intention. At this stage, you're starting to think more intentionally about your images. You're paying attention to light, to composition, to subject matter, but something still feels off. It's like paddling beyond that first break in the waves. Now, the water's deeper, the waves are bigger. Things feel less predictable. Now you're taking risks, but your results are inconsistent. One shoot goes amazing, the next one falls flat. Why? Because you're still reacting to what's in front of you, bro. Instead of pre-visualizing what you want to shoot before you shoot.
The image exists before the camera clicks. This is when you realize that great images don't happen by accident. They happen in your mind first. Look at any professional portfolio. The best photographers already know what they want before they pick up the camera. They pre-visualize the lighting, the composition, the emotion before the first frame is ever shot.
In order to get good at any one niche, you have to obsess over it. You have to shoot only that. Only when you obsess over a niche are are you going to master it? And also, bring something fresh and new that's going to separate you from the rest. You need help finding your niche? I posted some helpful videos that I've made that are going to help you in the video description, as well as one of the best courses that I've ever put together, which is going to set the stage for any photographer trying to be a full-time pro. So before you shoot, take a moment to imagine the final image. Ask yourself, what do I want this picture to communicate? Who is this image for? And oh my God, most importantly, who would hire me to create this? A powerful exercise is sketching out your shots, or even creating a mood board. Even rough outlines force you to think ahead. This is how you move from hoping for a good shot to actually crafting one, to actually building one. This is the transition from simply taking what's there to executing an idea. But there's still one more level, and that's level 3. Level 3, that's the big wave surfing. This is high risk. Level 3 is executing ideas for others. But here's your new problem: performing under pressure. Can you perform under pressure? At this stage, level 3, photography stops being about personal expression. Now you have clients. Now you have expectations. Now you have deadlines. This is where so many photographers wipe out. This is like stepping into big wave surfing. You need to be jet ski towed out there. The stakes are so high, and you're either prepared or you're getting swallowed. You no longer have unlimited time to tweak your settings or find the right angle. You have to deliver, even when conditions aren't perfect.
Many photographers still rely on ideal conditions to get great images. They're comfortable when the light is beautiful and the location is inspiring. But what happens when things don't go as planned? The turning point: owning every single variable. At this level, you realize that the best photographers don't wait for good conditions, they create them.
It's not about hoping the light is right, it's about knowing how to modify it. It's not about searching for a great background, it's about knowing how to work in any conditions. This is when you stop feeling like a photographer and start feeling like a problem solver. Mastering this is what makes you pro ready. The ones who succeed at this level, those are the ones who embrace the challenge rather than hoping for perfect conditions. To work at a professional level, you must create with intention, shaping an image rather than just documenting it. The difference between taking and making, it's the difference between playing in the baby waves and mastering the biggest waves out there. It's the difference between passive creativity and active creativity. But here's where most photographers get stuck. How do you know what to specialize in? I can help with that, by the way. Just check the video description for a link of my self-paced courses. Making sure that you have the right niche is just one of the ways that I can help you. This next video, this one right here, is going to help you with exactly that. Why you need a specialty in photography. So you're not just another photographer, but the photographer that people want to hire. Specialization doesn't limit you. It makes you valuable. And when you're valuable, clients seek you out.